Good afternoon and good morning to all of you guys. My name is Jack Lin. I am the Business Development Manager from Korenix Technology. Today we will be discussing the topic, boost your intelligent and secure solutions in oil and gas industry. Okay. We are focusing on the applications and solutions within the oil and gas market to deliver some of the applications that we can offer to our system integrators and some of the cases that we have done in the past with our customers. All right. This is today's agenda. Basically, I will be sharing three applications within the oil and gas industry, and each of the application, I will deliver a solution to that application as well as a case sharing to that application. So we will have three solutions and three case sharing corresponding to the applications. And the final part is some featured products that I would like to highlight to you guys. Okay, the first application is the upper stream, the beginning of oil and gas industry, the oil drilling digitalization. Okay, the application is oil drilling digitalization. What I want to deliver to you guys is that in such application, our customers will face several problems when they're applying the technology, applying the networking solution to this application. So they will face some problems. And I would like to share with you the solutions that Korenix is able to offer to fix this problem or to help them to easier accomplish their application, okay, to solve their problem. The first problem we will face, our customers face in oil drilling digitalization is remote. You guys must understand, you guys are all aware that drilling wellheads, the drilling rigs, are usually very remote and dispersed. So making it impossible to connect via wired devices. The solution to that is actually very straightforward. Korenix offers cellular routers with wireless connection, 4G LTE wireless connection, and security functions for those remote devices, remote drilling machines to get their data and send back to control room, as well as to receive instruction or command from the control room and to operate those drilling machines. Okay, so very straightforward. The second problem we usually face is temperature. The drilling sites are often in very harsh environment and extremely hot or cold areas. Like some of our cases, some of our customers, they applying the digitalization project in the Texas of United States or in Middle East. Both areas, both regions are very, very hot in daytime. So the solution to that is that Korenix offer wide temperature tolerance devices, which works smoothly from -40 degrees to +70 degrees Celsius. Some devices are even up to 85 degrees Celsius. So within this wide tolerance range, our devices can work smoothly without a problem in these harsh environment and in these extreme temperature regions. Okay. The third problem is stability. For this industry, for oil and gas industry, it's mission critical. It's time is money. So these mission critical equipment requires stable connectivity and backup mechanism. Okay, this is essential to this application. The solution to that is that our cellular routers support dual SIM card plus micro USB to achieve zero data loss, which means is that we offer 2-layer of stability protection, 2-layer of redundancy. The first layer is you have a dual SIM card in one device so that you have a second connection source to connect via 4G LTE network to the control room. That is layer 1. The second layer, the double layer, is the micro USB for local data storage, so that if both connections are down, you still have a local data storage and to recover the data transmission when after the SIM card, the connection is back online. So 2-layer, the double layer protection ensures the stability of the data transmission in this kind of application. Okay, this is the solutions that we're able to provide in the oil drilling digitalization. Next, let's see a case sharing of the application. As you can see, this is a very standard drilling rig. Our system integrators, this project for our system integrator includes around 50 of the drilling rigs in the Middle East. And they need to connect our cellular routers to these devices, connecting or inside the drilling machine, and get the data back to the server, the control room. Okay, so the devices are first the VSD, the variable speed device, basically is to control the drilling speed of the machine. And the motor PLC, of course, to control the drilling rig, the motor inside the drilling machine. So this has to be connected to the cellular router to receive command or to send out the status, of course. And these two are pressure meter and vibration sensor. The purpose of these two devices is for predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance is very essential in oil and gas industry, in any mission critical application. You need to know the status of the machine in advance before it actually breaks down. So the pressure meter and vibration sensor will detect if there's any abnormal behavior, abnormal data from the drilling rig. For example, the pressure becomes higher, or the vibration becomes more serious or more shocking, so that you will know there's something wrong or something abnormal inside the drilling machine, and you can do a maintenance before there's actually a problem or there's actually an issue happens to it. Okay, so predictive maintenance is very important in mission critical applications. So from these 4 devices connected to our cellular router, which is called JetWave 2414, and send back the data to the control room via 4G LTE network. So very simple, very straightforward application, but very useful to our system integrator. They have around 50 rigs in the field in the Middle East. So each one is installed with one JetWave 2414 to send back the data wirelessly. Very convenient way. Okay. The second application, we move from the upper layer, the upper stream, which is oil drilling, to the middle stream, the pipeline monitoring. Okay, once you get the oil from the drilling site, you need to transmit the oil back to the refinery region, refinery facilities. And usually this is transmitted via a pipeline, a very, very long distance pipeline. So again, problems vs solutions, problems versus solutions. Number 1, distance. As I said, this is a very long distance pipeline. So there are several serial devices connecting to it, to the pipeline, in order to get the data, to detect the data from the pipeline. These kind of serial devices, serial data, are unable to transmit long distance, unable to transmit longer than 10 meters or 20 meters back to the pump station control room for monitoring and management. So the solution to that is, again, very easy, very simple. We offer Ethernet and fiber switches connecting to these serial devices, and then send these devices via Ethernet or via fiber, which can reach maximum 100 kilometers transmission back to the control room. So this is very convenient that you retrieve data from the meter or I/O or CCTV or any kind of devices back to the control room. Okay, this is solution number one. Second, problem two is security. In modern days, these kind of pipeline monitoring are lack of latest cybersecurity technology to protect data leak or unauthorized access, which becomes more and more serious and more severe in modern days. The solutions to that is that Korenix offer managed switches, which offers top-level cybersecurity functions, including access control list or device or user or server authentication. I will not going down to the very technical part of the security functions, but the basic idea is that we check which device are connecting to our switch and which user is trying to access our switch, as well as which server we are connecting to, we are sending the data to. So this is a all-around protection for the unauthorized access, to prevent any unauthorized access. Either it's a device or a user connection or a server uplink. So from any angle of the connection, if I don't know you, I will reject your access. So this is the basic idea of the protection that we're able to supply. Okay. The third problem is power. Again, the long distance pipeline becomes very troublesome for power supply for remote devices. The solutions to that is that Korenix is able to offer PoE switches, which means power over Ethernet switches. We supply power in the same cable of the Ethernet network connection. So we combine the power and data into one cable to supply the sufficient power to connected devices. This saves a tremendous amount of efforts while the customer is trying to do powering the power supply of the devices in the field side. So this is very convenient to that. But of course, you need to comply with the IEEE PoE standard in order to accept the power from our PoE switches. Usually, the CCTV cameras are comply with the standard, which we can supply the power to the cameras connecting to our switches. Okay. Here's the cases. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, please leave your question in the chat box anytime you want, and we will review them and answer you as soon as possible. Okay. So the second case is I think it's in Texas, United States. As you can see, there are a lot of stations, a lot of sites within the pipeline. You have pump station, you have valve station, you have pressure reduction station, you have gas measure station. So very complicated, and therefore you need a lot of meters, a lot of sensors connecting to it to gather all the data you require in order to monitor the status of the pipeline. Therefore, you have flow meter, you have pressure meter, the thermometer to detect temperature, of course, and the gas sensor to detect any gas leak, to detect any broken part of the pipeline. And there will be a gas leak at the broken part, and you're able to detect that. And all this device, of course, you have another camera. Basically, the physical surveillance is essential to these pipeline because there are no people out there to monitor the pipeline for you. So you need a camera to see the physical status of the pipeline in order to prevent or to act as any accident happens, and you can know that instantly. Okay, so all these devices are connecting back to our switch, which is called JetNet 5212GP-2C2F, a very long name. I'm sorry for that. Anyway, these devices are connecting back to our switches in order to gather the data and back to the control center, back to each one of the pump station, okay? And as this is approximately 500 kilometers pipeline in the Texas of United States, we apply around 50 of the JetNet switches alongside the pipeline, and forming a very, very long distance of the fiber ring topology. Basically, it's for the redundancy purpose to prevent any connection breakdown so that you can go another direction and resume the data back to the control room without any problem. Okay? So again, very convenient and simple connection and networking solution for the pipeline monitoring application. Now, the third one, oil refining automation and surveillance. We move from the oil drilling from the ground or from the ocean, the oil drilling digitalization to the middle stream, from the upper stream to the middle stream, the pipeline transmission, the oil transmission monitoring. Now we're going down to the bottom stream, to the downstream, which is oil refining. We retrieve the oil from the pipeline, and now we need to do some processing to the oil before we send it to the gas station or send it to any places that requires oil. So the first problem in oil refining automation and surveillance application is security. Again, security is essential in this industry, especially in the oil refining facilities. Refining facilities require the highest security to protect its data in all aspects. Okay, because of the common cyber attack from the outside world, the security of this mission critical facilities is become very, very normal and standard requirement in the modern projects. And the solutions to that is that Korenix offered enhanced cybersecurity functions, including VLAN, traffic isolation, access control list, or DOS protection, denial of service from the hacking, from the cyber attack of the outside connection. Okay. So again, I'm not going down to the technical part of it. If you are interested in knowing the detail of these solutions, of these functions, security functions, please send an email, send an inquiry to us. I will explain to you in detail, okay, later on. The second problem is redundancy, okay? This is very obvious that operation shutdown in oil and gas, in oil refining factories is absolutely unacceptable. All devices must be online 24/7, all time. So redundancy, the network redundancy, is a essential part of the operation, of the all-time operation. The solution is that Korenix offers comprehensive redundancy solutions, including MSR and ERPS v2. MSR is called multiple super ring, which is a Korenix patent ring topology, a redundancy topology, which includes 5 different kinds of topology for ring redundancy networking, for the looping of the ring. And this makes our system integrators very flexible when they want to apply the suitable ring topology in their network, in their connection. And the second, ERPS v2, is a industry standard ring topology technology that when you want to connect with third-party switches, you need to comply with ERPS in order to form a ring with third-party other branding devices, so that everyone talks the same standard and you can still form a ring to perform the redundancy to your existing network. And both MSR and ERPS v2 are support with instant recovery time. In MSR, it's less than 20 milliseconds. In ERPS v2, it's less than 15 milliseconds. So very, very instant recovery and very, very short failure downtime, okay? The third problem is management, okay? Oil refining factories are very, very complicated. There are many devices within the facility, which in this case, you need a reliable and flexible network management system in order to achieve effortless management and maintenance to this kind of complicated network. Our solution is that we provide straightforward remote management system. It's called Korenix Network Management System for this kind of complicated network structure, okay? You can see the complicated network, all the network in one screen, in one platform. You can monitor them, you can manage them, you can configure them in one page, all right? Very straightforward. Finally, the case sharing of the oil refining automation and surveillance application. Basically, in the refining facility, in the refining factory, you have 4 major sites of the refining process. You have the control site, which is of course the control center, the server room, the control center site, and you have 3 sites in the processing area, okay, which is storage, refining, and post-processing. In the first site, the storage, you have, well, actually, this is just an illustration of the important devices that we connect to our switches. Obviously, there are way more devices that we connect, but these are just the illustration to the important devices. First, you have the tank controller, basically to control the parameters and the sensors within the tank. For example, the temperature, the humidity, any kind of factors, parameters that will affect the quality of the oil, okay? The gas and oil, okay? The tank controller. And secondly, the gate controller. Basically, it's open and close and monitor the pressure, the flow of the gate, okay? And finally, of course, another camera. In this kind of mission critical refining areas, you can find a camera in any corner of the facility, of the site, okay? So we connect these devices, these controllers, to our layer 2 managed switch, JetNet 5612 GP-4F. Okay, it's a PoE switch, so you can provide the power to the camera. All right. So this is the first part, the storage site. The second part is refining site, which is the major part of the whole refinery process. Okay, in the refining site, you have the boiler controller to heat up the oil. Okay, to boil the oil, and then you have the thermometer to detect, to monitor the temperature alongside the boiler, of course. And the third device is distillation controller. Okay, this is actually the critical part of the whole refinery process. Basically, you want to divide different material from the original oil by their different boiling point. Okay, first you heat up the oil, and once it cools down, based on the different boiling point, you can divide such as gasoline, such as diesel or lubrication oil, etc., from the original oil because of their different boiling point. All right, so this is the distillation controller. And finally, another camera. All these devices connecting back to our switch again. The third part, the final part, is post-processing. For post-processing, after the distillation, you have a blender. Okay, you have a blender to blend the oil, to make it even, to make the liquid smooth. So we have a blender PLC to control the blender, and then you have another tank to store the after processed oil, the after processed product of the distillation process, and then again another camera. Okay, so again, these devices connecting to another GenX switch, and these three switches forming a fiber connection for ring topology redundancy, and then transfer the data back to our control room using a layer 3 managed rack mount switch, JetNet 6828GF. Okay. As I mentioned before, this is just one site within the refinery factory. We actually have multiple sites within one factory, and therefore we form another ring between different sites, between different control room of the sites. So if the connection to one control room is down, you still have a backup connection to other control room to store the data and to give instruction to the site machines, to the processing devices. So a two-layer redundancy protection within the refinery factory ensures the all-time connection, the 24/7 processing network. Okay. This is quite complicated comparing to the previous two cases, but this is the nature of the project. In the refinery facilities, the devices are many, so you need a complicated network. All right. So these are the three solutions and cases that we provide to the oil and gas industry. Let's review it again. From the upper stream, the oil drilling digitalization, to drill the oil from the ground or from the ocean. And secondly, to transmit the oil via pipeline back to the refinery factory. And finally, the downstream, the oil refinery automation and surveillance, okay, to process the oil and to divide the original oil into the usable product, to utilize them in gas station. So what I want to deliver to you guys is that Korenix is able to offer a comprehensive, all-around solution to the oil and gas industry, okay? From the upper stream to middle stream to downstream, all right? Feature products, okay? I want to highlight just only two models that I just mentioned in the case sharing pages to you guys. The first one is JetWave 2414, which is the cellular router that we used in the oil drilling digitalization project. The first feature is dual SIM card redundancy, ensures non-stop connection for critical data transmission. I just mentioned it before. The dual SIM card is very good, very useful for redundancy in case of critical data transmission, okay? Second feature is that it supports passive PoE, which accepts power from the Ethernet port. It can accept power from its Ethernet port, which can simplify your power arrangement in the field site. So if you connect this model to a PoE switch or a PoE device, it can accept power from the Ethernet port to simplify the powering solution. The third feature is that it supports GPS for location tracking in transportation solutions. Well, actually, it doesn't have to be transportation. As long as you are connecting this device to a moving object, which you want to monitor the location, the moving direction of this object, the GPS function is very, very useful for this kind of application, okay? Location tracking. The last feature is that it is actually a flexible series selection of this model. You have 2 or 6 port and also the different 4G LTE connection speed with category 1 or category 4. In this model, this is a 6 port with LTE category 4 model. The connection speed is 100 mega download speed and 50 mega upload speed, okay? So very flexible to choose for your specific project. The second one, the final page of this webinar is JetNet 5212GP-2C2F. The features are that this is a full gigabit bandwidth switch, which is sufficient for all kinds of edge side data transmission. Either it's a video, it's a picture, it's a sensor, it's a I/O, it's a serial data, whatever. All kinds of data is sufficient for this full gigabit bandwidth to transmit back to the control room, all right? The second feature is that this is a 240 or 480 watts high power PoE device, which can boot up the edge devices without extra cabling. With this powerful PoE supply, this device, this one switch can actually power up maximum to 8 cameras, 8 CCTV surveillance cameras in one switch connecting to the full 8 Ethernet port of the device and powering up all 8 cameras simultaneously in one time, all right? The third feature is that this is a modular firmware design device with a cutting-edge technology in advanced security and redundancy function and management functions. Which means is that we developed this, we started to develop this series back in 2019 using modular firmware design. This is a cutting edge technology that it's very convenient for us to add on new functions, advanced functions to improve the security, the function of this device in future. So once you get this device in your hand, it improves through time. And this is very, very advanced technology in modern time. All right. The fourth feature is that, again, this is a flexible series for selection. It has 8 or 10 or 12 or 16 ports for selection, as well as non-PoE or PoE or PoE++ PoE supply solutions. So in this case, this is a 12-port PoE model. If you need more power, more PoE watts in the port that you want to supply power to the device, you can choose the PoE++ model. All right. So this is it. This is the applications, the solutions, the cases, and the product highlight that I want to bring to you guys today. Basically, what I want to say is that networking solutions, communication solutions is very straightforward, all right? We pass on data, we pass on information and instructions. That's all, simple as that. But Korenix do it with security, with redundancy, with high quality. And for that reasons, I encourage you guys to consider Korenix in your future opportunities, in your future projects, okay? Finally, this is actually a series of webinar that we are doing now. I believe in another couple of weeks, we will have another webinar which is focusing on the transportation solution. Okay, today is oil and gas in the energy market, and in a couple of weeks we will be delivering another transportation solution webinar. If you are also interested in such application, you are more than welcomed to join this webinar. I believe you will receive the invitation in very short time. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Let me check the chat box if there's any question in the chat box. Okay, I see several questions from the chat box. First, are these switches EXX rated? Well, not all of them, but some of them. I will send you a list of the complied list of switches to you later on in a full list in you via email. All right. Second question. Does the 5612GP-4F model have the feature of forwarding mail or message to the user in case of any problem? Okay, basically it's a message forwarding technology. Okay, the answer is yes. We do support this kind of solution. Okay. The third one is that means we can detect where its location, GPS. Yes, the JetWave 2414 GPS, indeed, that's the meaning of the function. You can detect, you can monitor the location of the device. Does it support category 6? I assume you mean the JetWave series. No, it does not. It only supports category 1 and category 4. But in future, we will develop more devices with higher speed, higher category. Okay. Does 5212GP-2C2F support IEC 61850-3? I'm afraid not. This regulation is majorly for electricity application for electricity facilities like substation or any kind of powering facilities. So no, we did not have this regulation on our 5212GP device, but we do have other devices that complies with this regulation. If you're interested, I will send those devices to you via email, all right? The models, can we know the models that comply with EX approval? Sure. I will send you guys a list. This is actually another question that that previously asked. I will send you guys a list of complied models, okay? All right. Any other questions? Thank you for all the questions. These are very, very good questions that will clarify the misunderstandings. Okay, I don't see any questions at this time. If you have any questions following on, you can still send an email to us. We will reply you via email. Again, thank you for your time today. We are, wow, I'm very, very punctuated, 40 minutes exactly. So this is up, this is time. All right, thank you guys for your time. As I said, if you're interested in transportation solution, please join our next webinar. All right, this recording email, this recording file, this recording video, as long as the slides will be sent to you after the event is finished, okay? In a couple of hours, all right? Thank you guys so much for your joining today. Have a great day from anywhere across the world, all right? Stay safe and stay positive. Thank you, bye-bye.